Today, we're going to unlock a skill that will make any trip to Morocco just so much smoother, telling time in the local dialect, Darija. And you know what? It's surprisingly logical. By the end of this, you'll have the confidence to use it yourself for sure. So let's just dive right in. So picture this, you're wandering through a packed Moroccan souk. You're just totally immersed in the energy. You're supposed to meet a friend for some mint tea, but you realize you don't have your watch or your phone. You need to ask a friendly shopkeeper for the time. How do you do it? The one phrase you need is Sh-hal fissa. Let's try that. Sh-hal fissa. It literally means something like, how much is in the hour? And that's it. That's the key question for asking the time anywhere in Morocco.
Okay, great. So you can ask the question, but how are you gonna understand the answer? Well, it all starts with the hours. And the good news here is that Darija uses a standard 12-hour clock, just like we do in English, so there's no military time to worry about. Phew.
So here are the words for the hours. Don't worry about memorizing them all right this second. Just kind of listen to the rhythm. The only one that's a little tricky to note is 1 o'clock, which is O-thuluth. See, this form is unique to telling time, which is actually a helpful clue when you hear it.
And just like we use AM and PM, you can add a little context in Darija. You'd say desbah for the morning or delashia for the afternoon and evening. So for example, 9 in the morning becomes tisa desbah. It's a really simple way to add clarity.
All right, you've got the hours down. Now we get to the secret key. I'm talking about the one concept that makes telling time in Darija incredibly logical once you see it. It's all about splitting the clock face right down the middle into 2 halves.
The whole system is built on 2 key words. For the first 30 minutes of any hour, you use O, which means and or past. For the second half of the clock, from minute 31 to 59, you use quel, which means minus or 2. Just remember these 2 words, O for past and quel for 2. They are the absolute foundation.
So let's start with the first half of the clock, the easy part. We're going to focus on times that are past the hour, using that simple little word, O.
Now, instead of saying every single minute, Darija commonly uses these incredibly useful fractions. A quarter past is O-rba, 20 minutes past is O-thuluth, and a half hour is O-ness. If you can master just these 3, you're pretty much most of the way there.
Let's see how this works with a real example, say 4:30. Step 1, you start with the hour, rib 3. Step 2, you add our conjunction, or. Step 3, add the fraction for half, which is ness. Put it all together, reb 3 O-ness, literally 4.5. See how logical that is?
Simple, right? Let's do one more real quick, just to lock it in. For 1:15, it's the hour, Louis Sebda, plus O, plus the fraction for a quarter, arbe. That makes it Louis Sebda O arbe, 1 1/4. See? You're already getting the hang of this side of the clock. Okay, you've totally mastered the first half. Now for the final piece of the puzzle. This is the clever little twist in the system, mastering to the hour side of the clock with the word quel. So let's put our thinking caps on. We're looking at the other side of the clock now. How would you say the time's 6:40? Take a second and think about how the system might work here.
The correct answer, what you'd actually hear in Morocco, is seba kal tulot. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, seba means 7, but the time was 6:40. So, what is going on? It's not a mistake. Actually, it's the most elegant part of the whole system.
Okay, here's the crucial point, the real golden rule. For any time in the second half of the hour, you just completely ignore the current hour. Instead, you jump ahead to the next hour and say how many minutes are left until you get there. You're basically counting down.
So let's break down 6:40 using that rule. The time is 6:40, so the next hour is 7, or saba. And how many minutes until 7 o'clock? 20 minutes, or telet. Our special word for this side of the clock is qal. So you get 7, or saba, minus qal, 20, tulet. It's exactly like saying 22/7 in English.
And that's pretty much the entire system. So to recap the absolute key takeaways, always ask for the time by saying Sh-hal sa. For the first half of the hour, use O to add minutes past the current hour. And for the second half, use qal to subtract minutes from the next hour.
And there you have it. It's a beautifully logical system once you see those 2 halves. You now have the complete secret to telling time like a local in Morocco. So the only question left is, are you ready to get out there and try it in the real world?